When I was a little kid, I loved to customize my toys. I had Polly Pockets, those were my favorite, and often I would cut up pieces to turn them into something more than what they had initially been, or like turn into a little crown, things like that. So as I grew into an adult, I also wanted custom products and found that there really weren't that many available. And so today I'm going to teach you how to make these pretty geode coasters, which can be customized to whatever the user likes. So you start with your supplies. First of all, you have your silicone mold. In this case, we're using this. I put it on a butcher block so that it can be moved and set somewhere stable when I'm finished. The mold was bought from Amazon, as are most of my molds. They're real easy to find and cheap. This is what can happen to your molds if they're not laid flat. Mine, this one wasn't, and it got real bent, so you gotta lay them flat. These are my resins. I have part A and part B here. You have to mix them in equal ratios. Be very careful about this part because it is a chemical process, and it does make a difference in whether or not the product will ultimately harden. Let's see, what else do I have here? I have baby wipes because it's can get very sticky when the resin isn't cured. And you just wipe your hands with it. It does seem to work pretty well. Let's see, we have stir sticks. These ones are silicone, but you can use popsicle sticks, just wooden popsicle sticks. I'm using silicone because silicone prevents some of the bubbles, which can be a problem when you're making resin products. As you can see, I've got most of my colors mixed in here. I laid some wax paper out on top of my cutting board, but I'm not so worried because the surface that I'm using is one that I use for this purpose, and so it's pretty broken up already. I'm also wearing the clothes that I'm wearing because I don't mind them getting dirty. You want to do the same thing for sure. Make sure that you are airing out your space. Most good resin makers will suggest that you wear safety equipment. In this case, I actually don't have any gloves or mask, but I do have some ventilation going on, I have a door open, because this will let off some fumes and will make you feel kind of sick if you don't ventilate properly. Okay, so since we're doing a little bit of geodes as well, I'm using this. This is some chunky glitter. This one's more of a white and a silver, but you can use whatever colors you want. I've got my little mixing cups. These particular mixing cups actually have some directions on them to tell you how many ounces, which is why I really like these. But you can also use some silicone mixing cups like this, which a lot of people do like. Let's see, I've got my wax paper. All right, so the first step you want to take is you want to take part A. And in this case, I'm just mixing up the clear part since I already have my colored parts. And I want, what, 4 ounces. So we're going to mix 2 parts of this. One part A. Make sure you pop the cap on good so it doesn't go bad. To 1 part B. So I've got 2 ounces. I need 2 more ounces for part B. And the reason I'm not mixing these separately is because if you try to put one into the other, you're going to lose part A or part B, most likely, and that's going to lead to an inconsistent product. Okay, so now that we have the 2 mixed together, or 2 in the cup, I should say, we're going to mix it together. I usually go in like an 8 pattern. I don't know how to show that on screen, but you want to mix it up real good. Make sure you get the sides. This part can take a minute. And it's going to go real foggy, see? But you just keep stirring until you've got a consistent product. And eventually it will go clear. Make sure you just keep stirring. You don't want any ribbons remaining in it. Any ribbons of fogginess, I should say. And now we're getting to a point that it's pretty much clear. You can see your own hand through it. And now that it's been thoroughly incorporated, I'm actually going to split this one into two because it's going to be my clear mix and my glitter mix. I've got 4 ounces, and I want 2 of those ounces to be my glitter. Maybe a little bit more than that, because I really like glitter. Okay, and then I'm going to show this. This is my last color cup. My little alcohol ink, and I add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 drops. That should be good on this particular color, but you can make up the decision for yourself about how pigmented you want it to be. The alcohol ink isn't really going to hurt it one way or another. I can feel that my resin is starting to warm because that chemical process is taking place, so I need to hurry up a little bit and get my resin going into my molds. Let's see, let's dump this last bit. Dump some glitter. I'm going to do the last bit of this in there. These are both a chunky glitter, so they'll really show up as Geode. Okay, I add some of that. I think I added maybe 1/4 of that bottle. And mix that up real good. Look at how shiny and glittery that is. Exactly what you want. So now we're going to take our geode mold. And I did create a little blueprint for this. This is usually what I do with my project details and things like that, so that I know what I'm getting into as I go into the project. That's how I plan. Put this back. And I'm just going to take my blue resin here, set my stir stick aside, and slowly drip this right along the edge of each mold. Just so that I'm getting all along that edge, touching every edge. You may not use all of it, depends on how much resin you've mixed up. In this case, I think I've got about 10 to 12 ounces, 10 to 12 ounces total. Let's see, we'll do green here. I like to do all my colors first. That just helps get that part of the process out of the way so that I can concentrate on making sure that geode part comes out real nice. So let's see here. Now we've got the orange. And I will lift this up at the end and show what it looks like on the inside. So we're going to get that right along that edge. It's a really nice color. Okay. And you see that wax paper is protecting my wood block. I'm doing a little mix right before I put it into the mold so that none of that alcohol ink is just sitting on the surface and changing how it looks. Got some purple. It's really pretty. Let's see. And the last one is going to be a pretty pink. This one came out so neon, which is really nice. Let's see here. Last bit. Okay, so this is about where you should be. Let's tip that back up. Let me put some more. Let's see, we've got our glitter here. So we've got all the colors laid out. Now what you want to do is take this pretty glitter cup, and pour some of your glitter mix right into the center of your geode. Careful not to overload anything. You do want plenty of sparkle, but at the same time, you don't want it to overwhelm the edge of your mold, because if that happens, it'll spill out the edge and it just doesn't lead to a very attractive product. Let's say it that way. So this is a very beginner-friendly project, I would say. And no matter what you do, it does come out looking really pretty. Okay, so we've got our glitter in the centers. See, here we are. Got glitter in the center. Now, there's one more step, which is to take the clear. I'm going to drop a little right in the center. Just pushes all of that glitter right out to the edge and makes it look so much more like a geode, let's say that. More. More. Okay. So this is what your mold should ultimately look like. In an ideal circumstance, obviously, you would not move this so much, but I'm trying to show you how to do it. So anyways, that is the completed mold. So what you want to do now is find a place to put your mold that's stable. Make sure that it's going to be in a temperate location, not anywhere it's going to get too cold or too hot, because that will affect the way that it finishes and the way that it hardens. But that is how you make geode coasters. And just like when I was a little kid, I can customize my products and you can customize your products. And this is something that I will definitely keep in my home forever, because it's something I made and something I really, really like. Anyways, thank you for watching my presentation, and that was the whole thing.